So, hey YouTube friends, I wanted to post some Enchantress thoughts. After playing a handful of leagues with Enchantress, this is coming at the end of the Enchantress stream that I just did, but I figured it was worth breaking into a new video. So here is what I have been playing for my Enchantress builds. Let's just kind of move some of this stuff around so you can see it all. And I want to talk about some problems I think Enchantress has and why I've been experimenting in the ways that I have. So my Enchantress deck list is different from most of them in that I'm trying out Carpet of Flowers and Exploration in the main deck, and I want to talk about why I'm doing that. Enchantress really wants to have 3 mana on turn 2, and you have 8 ways to do that in most of the traditional builds, unless you're playing Dryad Arbor. You have 4 Wild Growths and 4 Utopia Sprawls that get you to 3 mana on turn 2. There's 3 primary lines why you want 3 mana on turn 2. It's Enchantress plus a 1-drop, Enchantress's Presence, or Green Sun for Enchantress or Destiny Spinner. These are your most powerful turn 2 plays, and so it's really critical that you have 3 mana on turn 2. Exploration and Carpet of Flowers, in different ways, help you bridge the gap to turn 2 and make it so that you can more consistently execute your primary game plan. These 2 cards are very good at a lot of different portions of the game for different reasons. Carpet of Flowers in particular is really cool if you are on the draw versus a blue deck. So if they go, like, say, Island Pass, you go Carpet of Flowers main phase 1, main phase 2 Carpet of Flowers, play out a 1-drop as well. And that's super powerful, and you get really far ahead, and it makes your opponent's fetching awkward for the rest of the game, or otherwise you snowball out of control in terms of mana. And the cool thing is that that tends to scale over the course of the game. However, it's a little bit awkward as well, because against some of these Astrolabe decks, if you show them Carpet of Flowers in game 1, they will completely play around it in game 2 to the best of their ability and lead on something like Forest into Astrolabe and wait as long as possible to actually cast any, or not cast, put any islands into play, making your Carpet of Flowers much worse. Let's talk about Exploration now. Exploration also helps you to get to 3 mana on turn 2 by just playing out additional lands, and in some scenarios, you can just get up to 4 mana on turn 2 by playing it, assuming that you're a little bit land heavy. So it opens some really cool theoretical lines of like exploration, land, exploration, second land, pass into something like Enchantress, land, Utopia Sprawl, the untapped land, draw something that you can play, tap Utopia Sprawl, draw something you can play, and like continue. So exploration tends to be really good in the early game for accelerating you, or once you already have your Enchantress effects in play, you can also just use them to dump lands from your hand so you don't have to discard, and it helps you just power out more of these 1-drops, allowing you to get a larger Destiny Spinner activation faster. And so I really like what I've been trying with these Enchantress deck lists. The problems that I'm facing are primarily that I'm a dog to combo decks. Even in post-sideboard games, I still feel like I'm unfavored against a lot of them. And Leovold is absolutely everywhere. And I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to do about that. Living Wish version could play Caracas for Leovold, but that's sort of an anemic answer. I could just play more answers to it in the main deck, you know, more copies of Oblivion Ring, more copies of Banishing Light, that sort of thing. The issue is that a lot of times when Leovold hits play, it just stops me cold, and I don't have a lot of manipulation that allows me to dig for my answers to Leovold, because my usual dig is, hey, let's just draw 7 cards and we'll find our answer eventually. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do about that. And if you're playing Carpet of Flowers against Leovold, everything is fucking awful. So I think I was doing some really cool things with my Enchantress build, and I think this is better than what I was trying previously with Chrome Mox, but ultimately, I think Enchantress is something that I have to put down for a little while, because, like, the time is just not right for it. And I'm worried that with Ikoria coming out soon, it's going to introduce a lot of other combo decks into the equation, and those are going to be equally scary for this deck, because I'm expecting a slight increase in the amount of Storm, because Lurrus is an absurd Magic card. And so I don't know what I'm supposed to do moving forward to make my Enchantress deck competitive. Those are sort of some of my assorted thoughts on Enchantress deck building right now that I figured were sort of coherent enough to do a little 5-minute blurb about them for the YouTube folks slash the Enchantress Discord. So, like, the build felt super smooth. The mana ramp made my deck very consistent, but ultimately, I still just couldn't put up wins with it. I went 2-3 in most of my leagues.